Thank you, Mr. Chairman and members of the committee. My name is Tully, and I represent Indiana Vote by Mail. We are a nonpartisan, not-for-profit that advocates for voting reforms that make voting more accessible for all voters, regardless of how they vote. We oppose the VVPAT proposal in 1116 for a number of reasons, and we had sent a letter the other day by email to all the members of this committee. I don't necessarily need to reiterate all the reasons in that, other than to say, you know, the entire voting rights community opposes VVPATs, computer security experts and others. In fact, a professor out of the University of, I think it was South Carolina, I can get the quote for you after the fact, said as recently as 2020, it mystifies the voting rights security community why election officials would rely on the vendors that maintain and sell these products rather than election security community and computer security experts. So VVPATs are troublesome for a number of reasons as outlined in our letter. Can't be audited, et cetera, et cetera. And for audit purposes, I think the smartest thing to do is to return to hand-marked paper ballots. And people across the political spectrum, wildly opposed to each other on either end of the spectrum, could probably say, yeah, if you've got a hand-marked paper ballot, absolutely, we can audit that. That is something that we can all rely on. So if you want to place trust in elections, don't spend this money. And in fact, just because you're saying it's now federal money with the latest amendment that's been introduced, what, the Fed has this unlimited pile of money and Indiana's willing to use that for VVPATs? It makes no sense whatsoever. So for that reason, we oppose 1116 and don't believe that the state should be moving toward VVPATs. Let's just go back to the basics and go to hand-marked paper ballots. It makes the most sense. It's the cheapest thing to do, and it's the thing that's going to make our elections in Indiana trusted by voters and restore confidence. Not that it's to keep confidence high, I should say. Thank you.
Any questions? Senator Boots.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So when you refer to paper ballots, are you talking, at one time I think we voted with paper ballots, but then you fed it into a machine that counted the ballots?
Right, that's a ballot marking device like we use in Marion County. I'm a resident of Marion County. So the difference between a DRE machine, a direct recording electronic machine, and a ballot marking device is, you know, here in Marion County, we get a blank ballot, we feed it into an express vote machine. We vote electronically, right? We're doing it on a screen, but that ballot then is spit out by the machine and it's printed in words and in barcodes how we voted. Then we take that ballot and we go over to a tabulating device and we feed it into the tabulating device. In a county that uses all electronic voting, such as Hamilton County, there is no piece of paper anywhere. There's nothing. They're voting on an electronic machine. And what election security experts have said for a long time is, and they've said since all that HAVA money dumped into the election, or dumped into the election equipment market after HAVA was passed in 2002, was, God, you guys don't do all electronic voting. That's bad, that's bad, that's bad. And so what the industry has come up with is this VVPAT, voter verified paper audit trail, which is a peripheral device that attaches to the DRE, and then the voter can't touch it or take it or do anything. They're supposed to look at it. It's on thermal paper, it smudges, it doesn't last long, et cetera. I mean, there's a number of reasons. Plus, if you're attaching a peripheral device to a machine that may have been compromised in ways that can't be detected, how is that any better for election security? And in addition, I think the solution that's being proposed in Indiana is to put a QR code. Well, no human can read a QR code, so where is the voter verification in that? I can't read a can you read a QR code? Can anybody on this committee read a QR code? I don't think so. So how does that make our elections more secure? So for that reason, let's just get back to ABCs, go to hand-marked paper ballots. For much less money, the state could put hand-marked paper ballots or ballot marking devices for voters that needed assistance in every polling place, and let's just get on with being able to audit elections in an easy and trustworthy way that anybody across the spectrum can say, yes, that's how we audit elections. We both agree we can see people mark these paper ballots.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Okay, well, I just want to make sure exactly which part of the bill you're talking about. Is it on, do you have the bill? You
I don't have the bill in front of me, Senator, but it's the part that would move the date to July of 2024.
Okay, so it's on page 19, I think lines,
Right, I just don't have the latest version in front of me.
Where it says a county may not continue to use an electronic voting system after July 1, 2024, unless the system includes a voter verifiable paper
VVPAT.
audit trail, provided that the cost of the county to procure the voter verifiable paper audit trail equipment is paid for money, blah, blah, blah. But you're saying that even though it says it's a voter verifiable paper audit, it will not actually be a paper audit when the time comes, or there's
No,
some
in fact,
flaw
federal
here?
federal dollars don't, appropriations money from the federal government don't recognize a VVPAT paper trail that's behind a piece of paper, behind a piece of glass that the voter can't touch. They don't recognize that as a paper ballot.
They don't.
No.
Can you conduct this paper audit using this? You can't.
Well, not with federal dollars. So I'm not sure where the money's coming from for this anyway. So, and again, to simplify it, all I'm saying is take that part out of the bill. I'm not saying get rid of the 2029 date. We have more time to work on all of you that are going, well, wait a minute, I'm skeptical. Let's work on this some more. Well, then take out the 2024 date. Why is the state rushing into, by 2024, spending all of this money? And trust me, it will be millions of dollars. There are 59 counties in Indiana that use DRE machines. There are hundreds, if not a few thousand DRE machines across the state.
So is it your testimony that we'll be spending all this federal money and it won't do the objective
Right.
that we're trying to
yes, that's
achieve?
right.
Well,
That's
maybe the author or sponsor, somebody can address that. I don't think that's a good idea if that's the case. But.
Yeah.
Any other questions? Representative Wesco, did you want to comment or anything? Thank you.
Thank you. I'd just like to testify in relationship. It is a VVPAT, Voter Verified Paper Audit Trail, meaning they may vote on the machine, but then there is a ballot that is printed out that the voter verifies. The voter looks at this paper ballot and then puts that into the machine that can be counted and can be looked at going back to verify that the results from the machine were accurate. So I just appreciate the opportunity to correct that testimony.
So just so I understand, so a person votes on some type of electronic device. It prints out what their vote was.
Correct.
They could then look at it on a piece of paper.
Correct.
And then what do they do with that piece of paper?
And that piece of paper then is entered into another piece of equipment
Okay.
and kept.
So then if there's some question about the vote when it comes to the electronic device that they voted on, they could go back and do an audit with those papers that are in that other machine. Is that
Correct.
right?
That's the whole idea of it.
Okay.
If there's some question about whether the votes tallied from the electronic equipment, then they can go back to the paper audit trail that the voter verified to verify that the total vote count was accurate.
Okay, very good. Any other questions? Thank you very much, Representative Wesco. Appreciate you being here. Will the committee? We have a first, we have a second. Please take the roll.
Senator Melton?
Explain my vote. Mr. Chair, I trust that Senator Ford is trying to accomplish and get the right thing done. I do have a few more additional questions that was raised in the testimony that I want to do my due diligence on. For right now, I'll vote no, but looking to see how it goes on the floor.
Senator Lannon?
I vote no.
Senator Skoski?
I echo Senator Melton's comments. I'll be looking forward to speaking with Senator Ford. No.
Senator Dora?
Same as Senator Melton, no.
Senator Basler? Yes. Senator Boots?
Yes.
Senator Brown?
Yes.
Senator Charbonneau? Aye. Senator Kreider? Yes. Senator Ford?
Aye.
Chairman Mishler?
Yes.
Bill passes 7-4.